100 years have passed since the rise of the Edoran Empire and its untimely demise following the Great Plague. In these troubled times of quarreling factions and outlaws roaming the land, work is not scarce for a band of mercenaries. The stories of this age have been recorded. They are known as the Wartales.
Hello and welcome everyone to my Wartales 100-hour review. Wartales is an open-world RPG in which you lead a group of mercenaries on their search for wealth across a massive medieval universe. In Wartales, you will explore a vast world, recruit companions, collect bounties, and unravel the secrets of the tombs of the ancients, and not to mention, get caught up in the political intrigues of the Edoran Empire and its inhabitants. I've just hit the 100-hour mark in my Wartales gameplay, and I want to take a moment to reflect and give my thoughts on my experience thus far. We'll do another review at the 1000-hour mark and see if my initial feelings toward the game change at all. I would really like to hear all of your thoughts on the game thus far as well. So please don't be afraid to voice your opinion, whether you agree or disagree with me, or whether you're breaking down the game's strengths or weaknesses. I think Wartales potentially has a long and bright future, and the more we discuss what we like and don't like about the game, the more the developers will implement new features based on community feedback. I've played a handful of games thus far, including my initial outing on the default settings, a co-op campaign with 3 friends, and a couple of Iron Man campaigns on the highest difficulty, one of which ended in tears, that is, defeat. The furthest I've played in a single campaign is about 25 or 30 hours. Admittedly, I've taken things slow, learning as I go, and taking the time to level up my characters carefully and approaching the main storyline quests with a fair bit of caution. I have yet to complete the game, as I prefer to really savor the experience and take in everything Wartales has to offer. Now, reviews are always subjective. In order to try and give a more objective opinion, I've broken down the review into a handful of relevant categories: story, atmosphere, battles, customizability, and overall impression. Let's start with what I believe may be Wartales' weakest quality thus far. I should note the game's current version is patch 1.0. Story, how good is it? Does it pull the player into the world? And how does it compare to classic RPGs like, let's say, Skyrim or The Witcher? I'm a bit split here because there is definitely a compelling overarching story that has gripped the world of Wartales. A century has passed since the fall of the Edoran Empire at the hands of an unprecedented plague that swept the nation. Now the land is ripe with mercenary work, banditry, and thievery, with honor having become an almost entirely forgotten virtue. It's a great hook for a story. However, and again, my opinion may change, I find that many of the characters that I've met on my journey thus far I don't really care about. Companions in the war party are an exception, of course, as they develop curious bonds with one another, and obviously, with all the work you put into leveling them up and equipping them with the best gear, you do care about them quite a bit. The story's not bad, but I do feel this is an area that could use improvement. Feels like it needs a little something more to pull you in. If I had to give it a rating out of 10, I'd give it a 7. From the weakest quality to the strongest, the atmosphere of Wartales. I can't say enough good things about the game's atmosphere. It truly has a breathtaking aesthetic. The developers really hit the ball out of the park when it comes to the game's look and feel. The graphics are smooth and clean, the music and voice acting are on point, and the little details are phenomenal. Storms, fog, disturbing birds while moving through the forest, the sounds and feeling of mining, chopping wood, and so on. The world feels alive. The overall effect is an ambiance of a world that you can't help but get lost in. 10 out of 10 easily. Probably the most important aspect of the game, because let's be honest, that is why we're here, is combat. I don't have a lot of experience with turn-based strategy games, so I won't speak here with any real authority. I do, however, have over 10,000 hours logged in the Total War series, so I'm no stranger to strategic battles. I will say that I believe the battle system in Wartales is solid. There are any number of different strategies that can be employed. Finding synergy amongst your companions is paramount to success. For the most part, combat is smooth and fluid. I will note that large battles can at times be slow or a bit clunky. Other than that, I don't really have anything bad to say about the battles. I give this category an 8 out of 10. Nothing groundbreaking, but certainly one of the game's strengths. The next category is what I believe to be crucial in order to keep players coming back for more, and that is customizability. The first thing I want to say is that I wouldn't mind seeing a few more classes added to the game, though I wouldn't say this necessarily hurts the game. Simply would be nice to have a little bit more variety in the base classes. Maybe a cleric or even some form of mage or pyromancer if the developers want to go in that direction. Having said that, Wartales has customization in spades, from professions to classes and subclasses, character trees and skills, knowledge points, armor and weapons, not to mention the composition of your war party itself. There are so many unique ways to play the game that I believe players will keep coming back for more. And on top of all that, you have your very own base of operations, a camp where you can build everything from a tent, workbench, strategy table to a war chest, hitching post, and banner. Camp feature really makes you feel like an army on the march. It is a fantastic feature. I'm going to give customizability a 9 out of 10 merely because I believe the devs have more up their sleeves and I'd really like to see what they've got planned next. Alright, our final category is overall impression. Wartales is an excellent tactical RPG. There are plenty of hours of gameplay to be had here, and considering the price, I'd say it's a steal. I'm very excited to see what the developers do with the game next. My overall rating for the game is a solid 9 out of 10. Well, those are my thoughts. Please, I really want to know what you guys think. Be sure to tell me in the comments, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day, everyone.
Truth is a lie. Trust no one. Why are you still listening to me?